Since Repair Clinic encourages you to perform this procedure safely, a warning icon will appear when you should use caution. Most front-load washer repairs will require some disassembly of the appliance. Before you attempt this, be sure to unplug the power cord. Shut off the water supply as well. To uninstall the rear panel, you will need to remove the hot and cold water supply lines from the inlet valve ports. Be prepared for some water to spill. Have an assistant help you to move the appliance away from the wall. You can now use a Phillips head screwdriver or a No. 2 square drive bit to unthread the rear screws securing the top panel. Remove the panel to reach the pressure switch, main control board, and the water valve assembly. To remove the rear panel, use a T20 Torx bit to unthread all of the screws securing the panel. You will need to use a Phillips head screwdriver to unthread the screws securing the panel to the motor control board housing. Using the Phillips head screwdriver or a No. 2 square drive bit, unthread the screw to release the power cord grounding wire. Depress the tab to disconnect the power cord wire connector. Next, unthread the screws securing the vibration damper. Set the damper aside. Unthread the screws securing the drain hose mounting flange. Remove the flange. Slide the retaining disc off of the drain hose. And you can fully remove the rear panel to reach components like the drive motor and the rear shock absorber assemblies. If you need to replace the motor, note the position of the tub belt on the motor pulley. Then rotate the tub pulley to help remove the belt. Note the orientation of the drive motor wires, then disconnect them. This may require some effort. Use a 5/16" socket or nut driver to unthread the 4 mounting screws securing the motor. Push the old motor back to release. Use pliers to help detach the wire retainer. Install the new drive motor by positioning it on the outer tub, then thread and tighten the 4 mounting screws. Snap the wire retainer into place and connect the wires. With the groove side facing inward, align the belt on the motor pulley, then loop it onto the tub pulley. Rotate the pulley to help align the belt. Reinstall the rear panel by first feeding the drain hose through the hole in the panel. Position the panel on the frame. Then thread the screws to secure. Connect the power cord wire connector and secure the grounding wire to the panel with the screw. Realign the drain hose flange and thread the screw to secure. Slide the retaining disc onto the end of the hose. Reinstall the vibration damper. To uninstall the front panel, use needle nose pliers to help extend the spring to remove the retainer from the door boot seal. Peel the boot seal off the lip of the front panel. Lift and support the front of the washer. Unthread the 4 screws securing the bottom of the front panel. Pull out the dispenser drawer and depress the tab to fully release. Now unthread the 2 larger screws inside the dispenser drawer housing. Next, unthread the 3 screws securing the top of the front panel. Lift the front panel up and out to detach. Disconnect the 2 wire connectors to fully remove the panel. To replace any front panel control components, set the panel down on a towel or blanket. You can replace the control knob and board assembly by first detaching the ribbon connector from the board. Next, use a Phillips head screwdriver to unthread the 4 mounting screws securing the board. Pull the retaining tabs back to remove the old control knob and board assembly. Before you install the new control knob and board assembly, make sure the light diffuser is in place in the panel. Position the new assembly and snap it into place. Thread the 4 mounting screws. Connect the ribbon connector to the new board. For better access to the pump components in the washer, we recommend removing the lower counterbalance weight. Use a 7/16" socket to unthread the 4 mounting bolts. Set the weight aside. If you need to replace the coin trap hose, use a 7mm socket or nut driver to unthread the screw to loosen the wire clamp. Detach the coin trap hose from the outer tub. Now use pliers to release the 3 spring clamps securing the hose to the 2 circulation pumps and the drain pump. You can now pull the old hose free. Prepare the new coin trap hose for installation by transferring the sump filter from the old hose to the new one. Transfer the clamps from the old hose to the new one as well. Attach the hose to the appropriate ports on the drain pump and the circulation pumps, and secure with the spring clamps. Attach the hose to the outer tub and tighten the screw to secure the wire clamp. If applicable, reposition the counterbalance weight on the outer tub and thread the mounting bolts. To reinstall the front panel, first reconnect the control board wire connector and the door latch wire connector. Align the panel on the mounting pins and push down. Rethread the 3 screws on top. Replace the screws in the dispenser drawer housing. Reinstall the dispenser drawer. Rethread the 4 screws to secure the bottom of the front panel. Remove the support. Continue the reassembly by realigning the door boot seal on the lip of the front panel. Secure it with the retainer by aligning the spring at the top, then insert the retainer into the groove of the boot seal. You can now realign the top panel. Secure it with the screws at the rear. With the top panel secured, move the appliance back against the wall. If you need to replace a door component, unthread the 4 screws securing the door hinge to the front panel. Lift the hinge up to detach the door assembly. This may require some effort. Detach the door wire connector retainer from the hinge to fully release the door assembly. If you need to replace the door glass or hinge, unthread all of the screws holding the inner door panel to the outer door frame. Separate the inner panel from the frame. If replacing the door glass, note the orientation of the old glass, then lift it off. Install the new door glass by aligning it on the outer frame. The wider portion of the glass should be facing the bottom of the frame. Reassemble the door by aligning the inner door panel. Then thread all of the screws. Reattach the door wire connector retainer to the hinge. Then insert the hinge tabs into the slots in the side of the front panel. Rethread the 4 screws to secure. With the reassembly complete, reattach the hot and cold water supply lines to the inlet valve ports, if applicable. Turn the water supply back on. Plug the power cord back in, and your front load washer should be ready for use.